Hi, everybody. Welcome to Power Yoga. My name is Claire. I will be your teacher today. And I'm here with a very special guest this morning. Her name is Stacy. Many of you may know her. But what you might not know is that today is her 40th birthday. What? The big 40. That's a milestone. So for her birthday, she gets to take Power Yoga with me. Yes.
I'm a little scared.
It's going to be just fine. At home, if you're set up, make sure that you have a mat, maybe a towel if you plan to get a little bit sweaty. And you can see that Stacy has a set of blocks with her. They're not required, but if you like to have that extra support or you like to close the distance between your hand and the floor, the block can be a really great tool to have. If you don't have blocks handy, I bet you have a can of Clorox wipes somewhere in your house. That will work as well. Let's all get started together. We're going to breathe. We're going to flow. We're going to make your whole body feel amazing this morning. Please come to child's pose. Yay!
Birthday yoga.
What I'm not going to do for Stacy this morning is sing, and you're welcome. That is actually a birthday present to you. You'll thank me for that later. Please take a big breath in through your nose. Hold it at the top. And now open your mouth, exhale, sigh it out. Let's do that again. Big breath in through your nose. Hold the top. Open your mouth, exhale, sigh it out. One more time, all together. Breathe in. Hold the top. Open your mouth, exhale, sigh it out. Now begin to stretch your fingers out longer towards the top of the mat. Walk both of your hands over to the right side of your mat. And as you walk to the right, push down through your left palm and draw your left hip back to your heel. This is a great opportunity to find space in your side body, to find space between your ribs, and to really breathe big. Take a breath in, come back to center, walk your fingers forward. As you walk forward, stretch your hips even further back towards your heels and find more space. And then walk your hands to the left. As your hands walk left, push down through your right palm and guide your right hip back towards your heel. It's okay if your fingers come off of the mat. There's no boundary, especially if you're doing this practice alone at home. Take up as much space as you need. Breathe in and walk back to center. Roll forward and take a tabletop. Shoulders line up over your wrists. Walk your knees underneath your hips. Shoulders shift forward, belly pulls tight. This is your neutral spine. We'll take a breath in, and as you inhale, let your belly sink down to the floor. Roll your heart open. Take a cow spine. Hang out here for a moment and just notice how that feels. Now, as you exhale, push into the ground, round your spine, and relax your head at the top, finding a cat back. Push into the space between your shoulders. Inhale, come back down into cow pose, roll your heart forward and through. Exhale, push the floor away, round your spine, relax your head. One more time, inhale, belly comes down to the floor, roll your heart open. Exhale, push the floor away, round your spine, relax your head. Keep pushing into the floor, tuck your toes under, and make your way into downward facing dog. Now, in this first downward facing dog, I want you to get really free. Bend your knees, shake your hips, press your chest towards your thighs. Do what you need to do to loosen up the muscles in your legs, to release tension in your low spine. Try to soften your shoulders down away from your ears, and even try to soften your elbows. Push down with your palms through the base of your thumb, the base of your index finger, the base of your pinky, and the heel of your hand. Fingers are spread nice and wide. Take a breath in here. Walk your hands back towards your toes, inch by inch. And as your hands meet your feet, grab onto opposite elbows, sway softly from side to side. Ragdoll. Another great posture to release the low back, to stretch the hamstrings, and to let your upper body feel really heavy. Nice job, Stacy.
Thanks.
Release your hands down to the floor. Take a breath in, lengthen your spine, lift up halfway. Exhale, bow, and as you bow, walk your hands out to the top of the mat for a high plank. In your high plank, line your shoulders up over your wrists. Totally fine to put your knees down on the ground, but still keep the shoulders forward over your wrists. Take a big breath in, pull the belly in, ribs to the hips. Exhale, lower as slowly as you can all the way to the floor. Continue with some gentle movement before we get into the real power of this practice. Slide your thumbs back, hug your elbows into your side body, and lift up for a gentle cobra. So just the chest lifts up, hip flexors press down, tops of your feet press down, relax your shoulders down. Take a breath in here, exhale, lower down. We're gonna do that again. Tops of your feet press down, tighten up your legs, slide your thumbs back. Inhale, come up, cobra again. This time, maybe you come up a little bit higher. Maybe even experiment with lifting your hands, your palms up off of the ground, and see if you can maintain the height of your chest. Big breath in. Exhale, lower your hands down and find your way back to downward facing dog. We'll take a few breaths in downward facing dog. Again, one more time, find some freedom in this downward facing dog. Any new kinks you might have found in your body, anything new that needs to shake out, go ahead and do that here. Power yoga changes a little bit every single time you practice it, and your body changes every single time you practice it. Take a breath in and walk your toes back towards your hands. This time come to the top of the mat. When you get there, take a breath in, lengthen your spine, and lift up halfway. Exhale, bow. Inhale, please rise all the way up to stand and stretch your fingers high. If it feels good, maybe take a little backward bend here. Push your hips forward. Find freedom in your chest. Soften your shoulders down. Big breath in, come back to center. Exhale, forward fold. This time moving into your sun A's. Take a breath in, lengthen your spine, lift up halfway. Exhale, bow, plant your hands, and step back. One foot and then the other to high plank. Hold it here. We'll take this first one nice and slow. Knees come down to the ground if you need it. Exhale, lower down, bring your chest to a hover, chaturanga. Hold it right there. She's like, I'm not gonna hold it. Inhale, come up, upward facing dog. Upward facing dog, shoulders drop down, thighs come off of the ground. And now exhale, tuck your toes, come back, downward facing dog. Know that it's always okay to modify the upward facing dog to a cobra. Few breaths here. Find steadiness. Inhale. Exhale, side out. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale, side out. Inhale, lift your heels up, look to the top of the mat. Exhale, jump your feet all the way forward towards your hands. Take a breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Stretch your fingers tall. Again, press into a little backward bend at the top. One of my favorite things to do. Inhale, come back up to center. And exhale, fold down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, step back, find a high plank. Shoulders stay forward, lower down, low plank, chest to a hover. Inhale, come forward, upward facing dog, really push the shoulders down. Exhale, tuck your toes, come on back, downward facing dog. Find one more inch. Sink your heels closer to the ground. Goal is not necessarily that your heels actually touch the ground, just that you're stretching the backs of your legs. Take a breath in, lift your heels up, look to the top of the mat. Exhale, jump your feet towards your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow. Step your feet together, bend your knees, and sit down for Utkatasana. Reach your fingertips up. Open your chest. Pull your ribs to your hips and sit down just a little bit lower. Maybe you separate your knees 1/4 inch to try to isolate your inner thighs. Feels really good. Take a breath in. Exhale, fold down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow, step back to a high plank. We're adding on this time. Lower down, chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, heart comes up and forward. Relax the shoulders. Exhale, tuck the toes, come on back to downward facing dog. Step your feet together at the back of your mat. With your in-breath, reach your right toes up towards the ceiling. Get nice and long. Now bend your right knee in half, flex your foot and stack your hips. Circle your knee, circle your hip flexor, point and flex your foot. Whatever you need to do to free up space in your hip flexor. Take a breath in, square your hips, kick back up to the ceiling with your right leg, and now pull your right knee towards your nose and just hold it there. Down dog crunch. Inhale, kick it straight back up to the ceiling. Exhale, pull your knee to your nose, really hug it forward, shoulders come with you. One more time, inhale, kick back up. Exhale, knee to your nose, pull it as far forward as you can this time, and step your right foot through your hands. Rise up and find Crescent Lunge. First time into Crescent Lunge, push out through your back heel. Bend your knee a little bit more deeply. Get as strong as you can here. Hug your thighs together. Relax your shoulders. Big breath in. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Step back to high plank. Shoulders forward. Lower it down to low plank. Hold your hover there just for a moment. Challenge yourself. Inhale, heart comes up and forward, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck your toes, come back, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Step your big toes together at the back of the mat. Lift your left leg up as high as you can. Bend your left leg in half, flex your foot, and stack your hips. Again, find some freedom. Circle your hip flexor, point and flex your foot, roll out your ankle, whatever you need to move here. Take a breath in, square your hips, kick your left leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, left knee pulls to your nose. Hold it right there, shoulders come with you. Inhale, kick straight back up and away. Exhale, knee to your nose, pull it forward. One more time, inhale, kick straight back up. Exhale, knee to your nose, pull forward. Now step your left foot through your hands. Rise up and again find Crescent Lunge. If at any point you need to lower your back knee to the ground in Crescent Lunge, totally fine. Building so much strength in your quads. Opening your hips. Finding power in your low body. Take a breath in. Exhale, hands come back down to the floor. Step back, find a high plank position. Shoulders forward. Lower down to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. I hope at home you're feeling a little bit warmer than you felt when you started. We're going to continue to build the heat in your body. Add on again. Are you ready, Stace?
Ready.
Let's do this. Lift your heels up. Look to the top of the mat. Jump or step your feet forward towards your hands. Always okay to step. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bow. Sit it down and find chair pose. Second time you're in this posture, sit down a little bit lower. Find your core engagement, ribs to your hips. Relax your shoulders. Rock the weight to your heels, almost like you're gonna fall down backwards. Breathe in. Exhale, fold down to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, bow, step back to a high plank. Lower down, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, find your way back to downward facing dog. Right leg immediately extends up to the sky. Bend your right leg in half, flex your foot, and stack your hips. Feel free to stay right here. If you want to take it a little further, you can flip your dog over. Right foot lands on the left side of your mat and push your hips up to the ceiling. Push your heels down into the ground to find more space in your front body. Squeeze your butt. Lift up. Turn it back around. Right hand returns to the ground. Right leg extends to the ceiling. Pull your right knee to your nose and hold it there. Inhale, kick straight back up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring your right knee this time to your right elbow and hold it there. Try to make it touch your elbow, maybe even your tricep. Inhale, kick straight back up to the ceiling. Exhale, right knee to the left elbow. Twist it underneath your body. Maybe it touches. Maybe you pull it a little further forward. Inhale, kick straight back up to the ceiling. Exhale, pull your right knee forward and step it through your hands. Very nice. Rise up, find crescent lunge. Bend your front knee a little more deeply. Sit down a little bit lower. Hug your thighs together. Strengthen your back leg. Squeeze your glute. Press out through your heel. Take a breath in. Exhale your hands to the floor and stay right there for a moment. Keep your feet exactly where they are and just begin to straighten your right leg for a floating split hamstring stretch. So you don't actually need to make your heel touch the ground. You can keep it as a wider stance. So right there, keep your back foot on the ground. Yeah. Straighten your right leg, pull your hips back, maybe flex your front foot. She's already ready to fly. Don't worry, I'm gonna let you I'm gonna let you loose to fly pretty soon. Find length in your right hamstring and then forward fold. Try to square off your hips so that your left hip tilts down, right hip pulls back. Again, back heel doesn't have to be on the ground. Just find the space where the good stretch happens for your body. Take a breath in. Exhale, side out. Bend back slowly into your front knee and come to a runner's lunge. So again, if you stepped your back foot in, just bring it back to its place. Left hand stays on the ground. Now twist your right hand to the ceiling. Bend more into your front leg. Big breath in here. Look up towards your top thumb. First twist. Take a breath in. Bring your hands back down to the floor. Step it back to a high plank. Nice use of the blocks. Lower down, low plank. Inhale, heart comes up and forward. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Second side. Might feel a little different than the first side. That's a good thing. Lift your left leg up to the sky. Bend your left leg in half, flex your foot, and stack your hips. If you're ready, flip your dog over. So you'll be able to see on this side where Stacy lands. Ground your heels, push your hips up, reach towards the front of your mat. Relax the front of your throat. Take a breath in. Exhale, turn it back around. Kick your left leg up to the ceiling, get as strong as you can, and now pull your left knee to your nose. Crunch it a little more forward. Inhale, kick straight back up. Exhale, left knee to the left elbow. Tap it out wide. Sneaking in a little core here. Inhale, kick it straight back up. Exhale, left knee to the right elbow. Twist it underneath your body. Inhale, kick straight back up. Exhale, pull your left knee forward. Step it through your hands and rise to crescent lunge. So you're setting up your stance for the next three postures here. Bend your knee a little more deeply. Ideally, your front knee is over your front ankle. Hug your thighs towards each other. It's almost like you're trying to squeeze something between your legs. Press out through your back heel and get as strong as you can through your back leg. Relax your shoulders. Breathe. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Try not to move your feet if you don't need to. It's okay if your hands are on the blocks. Slowly pull your hips back so that your left leg straightens. Good. Flex your left foot. If that feels okay. If not, stay right where you are. Lengthen your spine as you breathe in. And now exhale, fold down. Bow over your left leg. And get the good stretch on the back of your left leg. Big breath in. Exhale, side out. Get a little more stretch. Inhale. Exhale, side out. Pull back a little further. Slowly bend back into your left leg. Adjust your right foot back if you need to. Right palm stays on the ground and twist your left hand up to the ceiling. Keep the 90-degree angle over your front foot. Breath in. Look towards your thumb. Keep reaching. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Step it back now, find a high plank. Lower down to low plank. Inhale, chest comes up and forward. Exhale, find your way back to downward facing dog. Big inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Big inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Lift your heels up, look to the top of the mat. Exhale, jump your feet towards your hands. Take a breath in, lengthen your spine. Exhale, bow, sit down, find chair pose. Reach your fingertips up towards the sky. Sit down a little bit lower. Such a powerful posture. Just embrace it if it feels a little uncomfortable.
Like 40.
Like 40, right? Take a breath in. Exhale, fold down to the ground. Take an inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, ground your palms, step back, find high plank. Lower down, low plank. Inhale, heart comes up and forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. 40 was actually my favorite birthday in recent memory.
Yay!
So enjoy it. Step your big toes together to touch. Lift your right leg up to the sky. Right away, step your right foot through your hands and rise up to Crescent Lunge. Bend your knee a little more deeply. Keep the distance between your feet. Exhale, open out to Warrior Two. You may have to adjust your stance a little bit, but try to bend your front knee so that it comes over your front ankle, toes turn towards the top of the mat. Relax your shoulders. You can't see it, but she's got a giant smile on her face. Sit down just a little bit lower and gaze over your front fingertips. This is a great hip opener. So really use it to your advantage. Dig your heels down into the ground. Find power through your legs. Find strength. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Reach back with your right hand. Try not to back out of your lunge in the front leg. Take a big breath in. Reach a little bit further. Exhale, side angle. Bring your right elbow to your right thigh and stretch your left hand up and over. So you're actually trying to reach your left hand towards the top of your mat. Totally fine to keep your right elbow on your right leg, or if you'd like to take it a little deeper, you can always start to lower your right hand towards the ground to make it a more intense stretch. Blocks come in really handy in this one. Keep pushing your hips forward. Really wide stance here. Big breath in. Exhale, put your hands on the floor for a runner's stretch. So just getting right into your runner's stretch, low lunge. Stay right there. Good. Begin to inch your hands forward in front of your right foot. So go ahead, keep your back knee off the ground. Yep. Inch your fingers in front of your foot. Put them down on the ground or on your blocks. Now shift the weight into your right leg and pick up your left leg for supported warrior three. So supported warrior three is a great place to be if your balance is feeling a little bit shaky today. You can turn your blocks on whatever level feel good. Ground through your front foot. Try to evenly distribute the weight. Even out your hips so that your hips are like headlights. They're facing the same direction. And now play around a little bit with your balance. Maybe you can float your hands up off of your blocks. Maybe you try it just for a couple of seconds. Maybe the arms reach out to the side or back behind you, like you're grabbing onto your imaginary cape. Stacy's cape says 40 on the back, right? Superwoman. Take a breath in here. Exhale, softly step it back to a runner's lunge. Land soft, ground your palms, and step it back to high plank. Lower down to low plank.
Got me dripping sweat.
Inhale, heart comes up and forward. I told you I was going to give you a birthday present. Exhale, downward facing dog. I wanted to give her a good birthday present, not my voice singing. Lift your left leg up to the sky. Step your left foot forward and through and rise immediately into Crescent Lunge. You know this posture. Your body is warmed into this posture. You've done it many times. Sit down a little bit lower. Smooth transition, exhale, open to warrior two. Push your hips forward, line your knee up over your ankle, and sit down a little bit more. Dig your heels down into the ground. It's like they're planted. Notice what would happen if you tried to pull your heels towards each other. Massive inner thigh burn. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Right hand comes down, reach back with your left hand and stretch long. Again, elongate the left side body so that you've got space in between your ribs, breathing into your intercostal muscles. Take a breath in. Exhale, side ankle, left elbow to the left thigh. Reach your right hand up and over. If you want to lower your left palm down towards the ground or towards a block, totally fine. You go to where it feels good on your body. There's always someplace new to go. And there's always someplace to go when you need a little break in this practice as well. Take a breath in. Exhale, hands come down to the ground to frame your left foot. Bend your front knee. Inch your fingers now in front of your front foot. Stay right there and begin to come forward for lunge. Pick up your right leg. Square your hips. Ground through your front foot. Solid through your standing leg. Float your hands off the ground. Maybe you don't even think about it this time. Maybe you just go for it. Or you take it slow. It's okay too, bring your chest down. So here's the thing, your two legs are gonna feel different. Yeah. Try it one more time. See what happens. One more breath, there it is. Nailed it, hands to the ground, step back, find a runner's stretch. Palms to the ground, step it back to high plank. Lower it down, low plank. Inhale, heart comes up and forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in. Sigh it out. Breath in. Sigh it out. One more time, breathe in. Sigh it out. Lift your heels, look to the top of the mat. Jump your feet towards your hands. Take a breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, bow, sit down, chair pose. This time, bring your hands to your heart center. We're coming into a twist. Sit down a little bit lower, belly comes in tight. It's okay to separate your feet a little wider if you need that space today. Twist your body towards the right side and begin to hook your left elbow, if possible, to the outside of your right knee. Stay right there. Thumbs to your sternum. It's also totally okay to stay in the upright position and just work on the twist. If you've got space here, go ahead, fly your arms. Use a block if that feels better. Make sure your two knees stay in one line. There it is. So you adjust your left knee so it stays in line with the right knee. Keep twisting, keep breathing. Inhale, come back to center, reestablish your chair. Woo! Hands to heart center, you got it. One more side. Twist over to the left. Lower your right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Fly your arms if it feels good. Take your time. Here's the thing. Even if you stay right here in the upright position, you're still working on the twist of the torso. 100% okay to stay there. Every time you exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, come back to center. There it is. Exhale, forward fold. Heel toe your feet apart, about hips distance. And now take your two peace sign fingers and grab onto your big toes. Take a breath in, lengthen your spine once you've got that bind. Bend your knees if you need to, even a little bit more. And now exhale, fold. Pull your elbows out to the side. Also a good place to wipe your face if you need to. So normally here at our studio, we practice in the heat. And I think one of the beautiful things we have discovered filming in studio without the heat is that we don't even need the heat to sweat a lot.
Yeah.
We can get a good sweat going even without it. Roll the weight forward towards the balls of your feet. Stretch just a little bit longer. Big release here for the low back. Begin to release your toes. Breathe in, lift halfway. Exhale, bow, plant your hands, step back, high plank. Take a vinyasa, lower down, low plank, knees to the ground if you need it. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your big toes together. You've got this. Inhale, lift your right leg up. We're gonna put a few things together now. Bend your right leg in half, flex your foot, stack your hips. Flip your dog over, drop your right foot to the left side of your mat and push your hips up to the ceiling. All of these postures build. Inhale, turn it back around, kick up to the ceiling with your right leg. Pull your right knee to your nose, step it through your hands and rise to crescent lunge. Soft landing, stretch up with your fingers. Open out to warrior two. Sit down nice and deep. Push your hips even more forward. Ground through both heels. Try to pull your mat together. Really activate the inner thighs. Big breath in. Exhale it out. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Side angle, right elbow to the right thigh or right hand to the ground. Reach up and forward with your left hand. Stay right there. If you want to work towards the bind, you can drop your left hand back behind your spine. Begin to reach underneath your right leg with your right hand. And just see if you can make your hands meet. Very nice, Stacy. Now, if you can find your fingers, try to roll your shoulder up towards the ceiling. So this is perfect angle. You can see she's got a little grip with her fingers. It doesn't have to be a huge grip. You're just working towards it. Great stretch for the shoulders. Big breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Bring your hands down to the ground. There you go. Nice job. Stay right there. Keep your right foot forward. She's like, but I'm done. Walk your fingers forward in front of your right foot. There you go. Shift your weight to your right foot and lift your left leg up. Good. Make your way into airplane. Find your balance. You've been here before. Stay right here. Breathe.
Feel the sweat dripping?
I do see the sweat dripping. Transitioning to half moon. Put your right hand down on the ground. Stretch your left hand up to the ceiling. Use a block underneath your right hand if you need to. And those of you that are really hardcore, if you want to try transitioning from airplane to half moon without putting your fingertips down, go for it. Stretch your fingers up even further. You've got it. Big breath in, squeeze your core. Exhale, hands to the ground. Keep your back leg up off the ground. Get there when you can, back leg off the ground. Slow transition. Begin to lift your fingers back up off of the blocks or the ground. Pull your left knee up to your nose. Pull your left knee up, pull your left knee up, pull your left knee up. Reach your arms out to the sides. Cross your left thigh over your right thigh, come into eagle. Twist your left elbow under your right elbow, eagle wrap. Bring your palms together, sit it down nice and low. You're almost there, it's okay. Breathe.
Longest flow ever. I love it.
I love it too. Take a breath in. Exhale, unwrap your legs. Forward fold down to the ground. Feet together, forward fold. I'm letting you stand on both feet. Take a breath in, lengthen your spine, lift up halfway. Listen carefully. Separate your feet underneath your hips. Bend your knees and slide your entire palm underneath your feet for gorilla. So in this posture, you're actually standing on your hands. right? It's not a handstand, but you are standing on your hands. Bring the toes towards your wrists if possible. If you've got limited mobility, or if you're feeling a little tighter, bend your knees a lot to make this happen. When you can, find more space in your hamstrings, send your hips up to the ceiling. Relax your head, your neck, the muscles of your face. Release your hands from underneath your feet. Are you ready for the second side?
We'll see.
Take a breath in, lengthen your spine, lift up. Exhale, bow, plant your hands, and step back to high plank. Shoulders stay forward, lower it down to low plank. You've got this. Inhale, heart comes up and forward. Exhale, tuck the toes, come on back, downward facing dog. Step your big toes together to touch. Lift your left leg up to the sky. And now bend your left leg in half, flex your foot, stack your hips. Flip your dog over if you're ready. At any point if that doesn't feel good, stay in the hip opener. Big breath in together. Exhale, sigh it out. Push your heels down into the ground. And now turn it back around. Extend your left leg up to the ceiling. Left knee comes forward towards your nose. Ground your left foot between your hands and rise up to Crescent Lunge. Take a breath in. Wipe the sweat out of your eyes. Open out Warrior Two. Sit down a little bit lower. Rotate your knee over your ankle. Dig your heels down into the ground and now try it. See if you can slide the ends of your mat in towards each other. One of these days you're going to make it happen. Reverse your warrior. Right hand down, stretch back with your left hand. Find that length. This should feel really good. Side angle. Bring your left elbow to your left thigh. Reach your right hand up and over. This is progression 1. Stay here if this feels good. Progression 2. Start to lower your hand down towards the ground, left hand down towards the ground, and right hand begins to drop behind your spine. If you want to go for the bind on this side, reach your left hand underneath your left thigh and see if you can make your fingertips touch. Often we have one side where it's really accessible and the other side feels like it's about a mile away. That's okay. Every time you just try it, if it doesn't happen on one day, it will happen on another day. Most important thing you can do is keep trying. Begin to release your bind. Bring your hands down to the ground and shift your weight into your left foot. Come into airplane. Lift your right leg up off the ground. And as quickly as you can, find your balance. Whatever your version of the balance is for today. If that means that your hands are on the ground, that is your balance for today, and that is 100% fine. Half moon, leave your left hand on the ground, twist and reach your right hand to the ceiling, open your hips. Gaze is really important. We call it the drishti. If your balance is feeling off today, look down towards the floor. Focus on one point on the floor, something that is not moving. Open your chest, stretch up. Big breath in, you've got this. Exhale, transition hands back down to the ground. Beginning to make your way towards standing. Lift your hands up off the ground, and as you lift up, pull your right knee up to your chest. Even if you got to drag that foot on the ground, that's okay. Reach your hands out to the side. Cross your right thigh over your left thigh. Bring your right elbow under your left elbow. Pull everything towards your center line. Get that good twist. Sit down low. Hug your thighs together. Twist. Breathe. Slowly unwrap your arms, unwrap your legs, feet to the ground, fold forward. Nice job. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow, step back, find a high plank. Lower down to low plank. Inhale, bring your heart up and forward, upward facing dog. Exhale, find your way to downward facing dog.
Wipe your sweat if you need to.
Breath in, sigh it out. When that sweat is pouring out of your body, that's how you know you're doing it right. It's such an amazing feeling.
Yes.
And what a great way to start your 40th year, right?
Yes.
Lift your heels up, look to the top of the mat. Jump your feet towards your hands. Take a breath in, lengthen your spine. Exhale out. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Keep your legs straight to start with. I'm going to give you a little release. Push your hips forward. Give me a little backward bend. Inhale, come back to center. Sit down into chair pose. Hands to your heart center. Twist your body to the right. Now, look down at the floor. Begin to lower your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. Now, if you want to stay here, stay here. If you want to start to go a little bit further, we're going to work our way into side crow. So begin to roll the weight towards the balls of your feet. Really twist your knees so that they come to the outside of your left elbow. And now put your palms down on the ground about shoulder distance apart. So if where you're going is just reaching your palms down to the ground for today, that's totally fine. Twist and twist and twist your knees so that they come to the outside of your tricep. You can see where Stacy's knees are going, doing amazing. Now keep your gaze slightly forward and begin to take your knees to your tricep. Soft bend in your elbows, float forward. She's got her block there to catch her face. I like to do that too, right? It gives you that little safety net. Try it a couple times and see what happens. So maybe the toes come off of the ground. She loves to teach this posture too, I know she does. Look forward, toes off the ground, toes off the ground, toes off the ground. There it is, nice job. See, it's that little safety net. Sometimes you just need it. Yes. Good. And now rise back up to stand. Stretch your fingers up nice and tall. Good. Exhale, come back into center, sit down into chair. We'll go right away for the other direction. Twist over to the left. Hook your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Stay right there. Roll to the balls of your feet if you can. And put your palms down on the ground about shoulders distance apart. Now here's the thing. Important points here. Shoulders, wrists in one line. You can turn the other direction if that feels better, Stace. Good. Make sure that your knees are on the outsides of your elbows. So you've got to really use your core strength to get your knees up on the tops of your triceps. Now look slightly forward. Remember, where your gaze goes, that's where your body's going to follow. So we don't want to look down, right? Look forward. And now bring your knees to the top of your tricep. See what happens. See if you can float one toe, maybe both toes off the ground. It's just something to play with. If you fall out, that's okay. It's my personal opinion that if you've never fallen out of a yoga posture, you're not trying hard enough, right? Fold back down to the ground. So you can stand all the way up and fold forward. Good. Back to the top of your mat. She's like, I need water. Give me some water. We'll let her do it since it's her birthday today.
Thanks.
Come back to the top of your mat, my dear. Forward fold. She's not going to forget this for a long time.
I know. I took water without the teacher saying, bad.
Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow, step forward. Step backward. Find a high plank position. That would have been a funny high plank. Lower down, low plank. Inhale, heart comes up and forward. Exhale, find your way back to downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up. Step your right foot forward through your hands and just land right there in a runner's lunge. So keep your back leg off the ground. Keep your palms on either side of your right foot. Stay right there and sink into your hip flexors. Shift your weight a little bit further forward and now begin to lift your left leg up. This time we're going for standing split. So I'm going to give you that posture I've been noticing your body is craving today.
Yes.
Fingertips come down to the ground. So you can see Stacey's using her blocks. That shortens the distance between the ground and her palms. Now, if you can take your hands off of your blocks and put them onto the ground, that's awesome. If you can take your right hand and hook it on the back of your right ankle, amazing. Now kick your left foot up. Stacey, point your toe. There you go. Now pull your chest down towards your shin. Now, if your balance is feeling phenomenal, pick up your left hand and also put your left hand on the back of your right ankle. Hold on to it, roll the weight towards your big toe. That's how you're gonna make this work. One more big breath. If you fell out, try it one more time. You've got this. Beautiful. Slowly make your way back to runner's lunge. Sit down just a little bit lower. Good. Now, lower your back knee to the ground. Bring both hands to the inside of your right leg. Widen your right foot out just a little bit so it comes to the edge of the mat, and lower down into lizard. Let's really get the hip flexors. I love you too. Hug your knee into your shoulder if that feels good. Stay static for a few breaths. If your elbows touch the ground, great. If you're up on your palms, stay right there. Maybe close your eyes and breathe into whatever it is that you're noticing is coming up in your body in this big stretch. Now, what you thanked me for, you might not be thanking me for. If you're comfortable with your elbows on the ground, I'm going to challenge you in just a moment to transition from lizard to a forearm plank. Okay, so I'm going to walk you into this. Go ahead, tuck your left toes under and lift your left knee off the ground. If elbows are on the ground, leave the elbows on the ground. And now just step your right foot back to meet your left foot and hold your forearm plank, shoulders forward, belly tight. Find your core strength. Push into the space between your shoulders. Pull the ribs to the hips. Squeeze your butt. Your entire body is working here. Knees drop down if you need that accommodation to make your body feel good today. You've got one more breath in, and now push yourself up to a high plank and stretch up and away to downward facing dog. Woo! We like to have fun with transitions sometimes.
Yes.
Very nice. You've got another side to go. Step your big toes together. Lift your left leg up. Step your left foot through your hands and find a runner's lunge. Stay right there. Set yourself up on your blocks if you need that. There is no rush to get into this next posture. Listen to my words and take it step by step. Fingers stay down on the ground, palms stay down on the ground. Begin to shift your weight towards your left foot. Now pick up your right leg when you're ready. And this time you're kicking your leg up higher. So hips don't have to be square. It's okay for the hips to slightly open. Kick your leg up as high as you can and begin to bring your hands to the ground towards your standing left foot. Now, if it feels good, if you're ready to try your balance on that leg, take your left hand on the back of your left ankle. Leave the right palm on the ground if that feels good. Shake it out if you need to shake it out. Cramp. That's the side. That's the side. It's okay. Maybe your right hand also comes to your left ankle. If you've got that grip, hold on to it and pull your nose down towards your ankle. Kick up a little bit higher. It's okay if you fall up. 100% okay. Take a breath in. Come on, really kick. Give your hamstrings that love. There it is. Softly begin to release yourself back down to runner's lunge. And when you get to runner's lunge this time, lower your right knee to the ground. Heel toe your left foot to the edge of your mat and bring your hands to the inside of your left knee. One elbow at a time, lower down onto your blocks or to the floor. Stay on your palms if that feels too intense. Make this a release. You've got a few breaths here. If it feels better to push your left knee out a little bit to really get deep into the hip flexor, you can do that. If it feels better to hug your knee in towards your shoulder, listen to your body. Always important to listen to your body. Big breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Get ready to transition to your forearm plank. Tuck your right toes under, lift your right knee off the ground, elbows on the ground. See what happens. Step your left foot back to meet your right foot and find your way into forearm plank. It might be a creative way to get into forearm plank. We'll see. Shoulders stay forward, ribs to your hips. You've got a big breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Pull your ribs to your hips. Hang on to it. I need about 10 more seconds. Breathe. Drop your knees to the ground, stretch back to child's pose.
Woo!
Stay here for a moment. Big breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Big breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Sit back up on your heels. Swing your legs around. Good, and find your way into Navasana, your boat pose. So come more towards the center of your mat. Bend your knees. I'll sit down on the floor with you, Stacey.
Yay.
Fingertips are gonna come back behind you and just walk your toes in. Now here's the thing, you can stay right here or you can begin to float your toes up off the ground. Now rock a little bit further back, pull your ribs to your hips, maybe your fingertips release. Now kick your legs even further forward, point your toes if possible, and find the core engagement. Relax your shoulders, big breath in, exhale, sigh it out, hang on to it, big breath in, exhale, sigh it out. Now lower it down, find a low boat. So low boat, your low spine is gonna come down to the ground, shoulders are gonna stay up off of the ground. Keep pointing your toes, keep pushing your low spine down to the ground. You've got a big breath in here, and pull yourself back up, hold balance. You've got it, big breath in here. Exhale, sigh it out. Do it again, inhale. Exhale, lower down, get yourself back into your low boat. Low spine to the ground, shoulders up. It's more fun to do core with friends, right?
Yes, thank you.
Ribs to your hips, belly in, big breath in. Exhale, pull yourself back up, high boat. Land in it, big breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Hold it, big breath in. Exhale, lower down, low boat. Now hold your low boat. And I want you to just flutter, 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 flutter. If you need to bring your legs a little higher, bring your legs a little higher. You got it. Hang on to it, point the toes, keep kicking, keep breathing, shoulders off the ground, belly tight. You got it, girl. Come on, give me 10 and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Float your legs up and into your chest.
Woo.
Good. Yeah, you can stay down on the ground.
Okay.
Big breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Big breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Just a little core to make you feel strong at the end of class. Come into happy baby. Flex your feet, drop your knees into your shoulders. Rock softly from side to side a few times. Push your feet into your hands. Go a little bit wider now. Kick your feet away and get a good stretch in the backs of your hamstrings. So you're basically going for a big letter V in your legs. It's okay if it looks like a little bit of a broken V. It happens. Drop your knees down into your chest.
This feels good.
She's like, I want to stay right there. When you can, bring your knees to your chest and reach your arms out nice and wide. Twist both of your knees over to the right and look back over your left shoulder. Let it be a nice, easy twist. If you like to wrap your legs, you can wrap your legs. Left thigh comes over the right thigh. It just kind of allows it to fall further down to the ground. Big breath in, winding down, exhale it out. Inhale, come back to center. Nice and slow, rotate the other direction, knees drop left. Look back over the right shoulder. Breathe in. Sigh it out. Again, breathe in. Sigh it out. Inhale, come back to center. Drop your feet to the floor just for a moment. We've got one gentle bridge to release your low back. Feet come down, hips distance apart. Push your arms down. And now just lift your hips up. Doesn't have to be super high, doesn't have to be super intense. If you want to make it a little more intense, walk your hands together underneath your spine. Pull your knuckles down towards your heels. Squeeze your butt. Pull your shoulder blades a little closer together to open your chest. Breathe in. Exhale, release. Lower your knees down. Final time, bring your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. Give yourself a big hug. I know for a fact one of Stacy's favorite things to do is hug.
Yes.
So I'm gonna let her hug herself right now. Squeeze your nose up towards your knees. Compress your entire body. Make yourself as small and tight as possible. Now breathe in. Exhale, release down to the ground for your final Savasana. Take a moment to make yourself comfortable. Notice any muscles, any joints, any bones, any thoughts, any emotions even that you're still hanging on to at the end of your class. Let everything go. Let everything soften. You stretched your boundaries. You pushed your limits. You moved. You breathed. And you stayed present on your mat today. Stay down here on the floor for as long as you can. And just take all of that in. Amazing work today. We will see you next time. Namaste.
Namaste.